Hey, I wanted to make this really quick video to talk to you about integrity because without integrity, you will never build relationships that have any real value because people can't trust you if you don't have integrity. Definition of integrity is having integrity means that you live in accordance to your deepest values, you're honest with everyone, and you're always keeping your word. Yeah. In a summary, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. That's what our good friend at Webster says. The reality is that integrity is, are you someone that people can believe in? Are you someone that people understand? Somebody that you are, can be built trust, trust in that relationship. They can build trust with you. I think it's really critical. I recently had a rude awakening in my own personal and professional life on someone that I thought I could trust to the moon and back. And really, what happened when it was discovered was they had a breakdown of their integrity. There were things that they were doing that were taking advantage of my time, my effort, and quite honestly, the money that I was paying them. And it was like a stab to the heart. Now, this is a long-standing relationship, one that I never, ever would have in a million years ever thought could have potentially ever gone off the rails. But in fact, it did. And the reason that it did was because I gave a lot of passes to things that should have been kicking off my spidey sense. I overlooked things. I sort of made excuses for things. I gave them the benefit of the doubt because I felt like at the end of the day, I had built up enough of the trust bank that maybe some things I could let slide. And in the end, you ultimately get disappointed. It's a hard lesson to learn because it stabs you right there in the heart. It is challenging. And we've all had these situations, whether it was a close personal friendship, a work colleague, a boss, someone that we've looked up to and admired that has let us down. And really, there are certain things that you have to make the determination and say, hey, look, are these forgivable offenses or are they not? And what I have since found relative to my life is the more that I get people that don't have high integrity out of my personal and professional network, the better off that I am. I seem to attract more positive people, more people that are individuals that I can really get behind, I can believe, by really taking a hard look at the people that you've surrounded yourself with in your network and realizing that, you can't forgive everything. And sometimes just because you think you should give people a pass doesn't mean that you necessarily should do that indeed. Now, I'm not saying that you have to pass judgment on them because that could spark off a whole different debate. But I do think that at some juncture, you have to kind of make a determination. Is this the kind of person that I need in my life? Are they bringing the kind of energy, if they can lie to your face and have no problem with it, or they can pretend to be one thing and totally something, when nobody's looking, is that somebody that you really want to be affiliated with or associated with? And it can be hard. It could be family relationships. I've had a very difficult year and a half with a sibling that does not have integrity. That person just had to be removed from my life. And this recent relationship was someone that, we had invested heavily in because we believed so much in what they could bring to the table. But when we weren't looking, things were happening that really shouldn't have been happening. I wish them well. I hope they go off and they do great things in this world. But it will be, without me, and it'll be someone, it'll be on their journey, and it'll be, something that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their life, knowing that they had done this. And integrity, to me, is one of the cornerstones of any good relationship. You have to have it. The other person has to have it. You have to sort of set the ground rules for how you guys are going to respond and interact. And, there are certain things that you just have to determine on your moral compass, what you're going to allow and what you won't. And I think when you start to take a hard look at it and you look at the integrity of a person, it really tells you what you are getting. My good friend, Dr. Asha Prasad, says, hey, if people tell you what they are or who they are, believe them, because in most cases, it always proves to be true. And so, unfortunately, sometimes those truths hurt. But I wanted to share that with you because if you yourself have found maybe you haven't been living up to your own standards of high integrity, doesn't matter, what you've done up to this point. You have a new day, a new chance to start anew and to do things differently and to start living your life in a way that's authentic and is the kind of approach that you really want people to believe in and have confidence in, and really want to, invest in and build that relationship with you. And if you have people that are, just because right? Gut feel, or you've seen by their own actions, their own words, that they're not a person of high integrity, then at the end of the day, you have to make that difficult decision as to whether you want to continue to keep them in your sphere of influence. Because whether you realize it or not, they are influencing you, which by and large, if other people are paying attention, they may judge you based on them just because you have them around. So it's a tough lesson, and it's hard, and relationships are messy. It's a contact sport. It's difficult. And I know that can be somewhat of a challenge, especially if you're, you're engaged to this person romantically, or you've got a long-standing friendship, or you've invested heavily in them to bring them into your company, or, they're just they've been there for you as a colleague, but, they just don't have high integrity. Separating from those people can be challenging and difficult, and it can be painful, but it sometimes is necessary. So I wanted to plant that seed. I wanted you to think about that. I wanted you to look at your network and say, who do I know that has high integrity? And if you don't really know, maybe it's time to investigate. Maybe it's time to get to know that person better and really make that determination. If they're holding a spot within your personal and professional network that might be earmarked for somebody else, well, maybe it's time to make that room for that person to mosey on down to the ranch and welcome someone else into their spot. Just food for thought today. I hope you're off to a fantastic day whenever you see this. I hope this made a difference. I'd love to see, what your thoughts are in the comments. Please do that. And if you like what you're seeing on these videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little notification button. Ding. I don't know where it'll be on this video, but ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it doesn't really ding, just alerts you. Anyway, I would love for you to do that. And, as always, go out there, make a difference in the world, make a difference in someone's life, make a difference in your life. And as always, ripple on.